It's the 2K Sports Pregame Show.
Hey, Ernie Johnson here, and I'm joined by Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. Our game tonight featuring the New Orleans Pelicans as they go up against the Dallas Mavericks. For Dallas, they've played well of late, winning 5 of their last 6 games. Tonight, an opportunity to continue that trend. Should be an interesting evening. Two teams that like to slow things down a bit.
Ernie, you sound like a record that's gone wrong.
Yeah.
Man, need to speed you up. Put
Kenny,
that battery in your back.
what are some of the keys to running a really good half-court offense?
Why are you slowing me down, Ernie? Patience. Gotta have patience. Like you have to have the kind of patience that it takes to sit next to you and Shaq right now, while you guys are really making me feel uncomfortable with your slow motion manners.
Well, Ernie, he didn't answer the question
Oh,
right.
my goodness.
You have to value each possession because you may not get a lot of them.
That's the
Not
fastest
only
I've heard
that,
Shaq
Ernie,
speak.
offensive rebounding can change a game.
Oh,
Excellent point.
Thank
man.
you, Ernie.
that's actually you need to speak like that more often.
Let's go courtside to Kevin
Harlan.
Harlan.
I'm the only one in
Harlan.
fast motion here.
Welcome and happy holidays from 2K Sports. It's time for NBA action. Joined in the booth with Greg Anthony and Brent Barry, this is Kevin Harlan. Our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. For the Pelicans, happy to be here in New Orleans right now in the midst of a homestand. Last time they met was in Dallas where they beat the Mavericks.
And anytime you come off the bench, you know your role, and that night it was about scoring.
Well, good collective team unity, everyone pitching in, so trying to win for one another. That's a good thing.
And before the game gets started, let's go to David Aldridge, who spoke with Rick Carlisle. David.
Guys, he told me their primary focus of the pregame discussion was defense. He said they're dealing with a very sophisticated offense, and it's going to require an outstanding effort from his players at the defensive end to come out on top. Let's see if that's the effort they get. Guys?
Thank you, David. Now that we're into the year, some teams starting to show cracks, Brent, could use an infusion of talent. How hard is it to make an in-season trade that can really have an impact on your team?
I think it's more and more difficult, Kevin, with the rules and the way that the salary cap is set up for teams really that are contending for something big to go out and all of a sudden grab that one piece. It's very rare that a team can go out that's sitting on top of the standings and find that one specialist that's going to come in and make that team even better. So when that does happen, you have to really commend GMs that have done their homework and manipulated the salary cap so that there's space for that kind of player.
Complex, I agree. Now a look at Dallas's starting lineup. Barnes at the 3 with Dirk at the 4. Smith Jr. runs the point with Matthews at his side. They're the backcourt. And it's Noel in at the center filling out the middle. Here's Liggins, covered by Barnes. Davis kicks to Holiday. Here's Cousins. The offensive rebound. Up again. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
A good activity as Cousins shuffled around, got himself into great position, and gobbled up that board.
And DeAndre Liggins picks up the foul. That's his first foul.
Kind of a ticky-tack foul there, but you have to be aware that's how the refs are going to blow the whistle tonight.
Here's Matthews, and count it, and a chance for one more at the free throw line.
And those close-range shots are what you want him taking. They always have a great chance of falling.
I'm not sure, Greg, there's a player who better fits the description of a grinder than Wes Matthews.
Yeah, so tough, too. I mean, mentally and physically. He talks about inflicting his personality on the team, and he truly is what I'd call a culture builder.
And from the day that Anthony Davis was drafted, New Orleans had a win-now mindset.
Well, that's what the decree from the upper management was, and maybe a little bit unfair to put that kind of pressure on such a young superstar talent who wanted to find his way in the NBA. The front office focused on making some trades and surrounding him right away without understanding exactly what Anthony Davis was going to be good at. Let's face it, he's still great, and there's still that opportunity for AD.
A little over a minute gone here in the first quarter. Davis kicks to Holiday. Just 5 on the clock. Shoots over Matthews. The shot by Holiday, no good. Barnes with it. Coming off a solid outing against Indiana. And he banks in the layup.
This guy is so tough to guard. He feels like he could take any challenge that the defense is going to throw at him.
Here's Liggins. Basket is good. The assist from Rondo.
I tell you, Rondo sees it all on the floor. He's got an ability to just cripple a defense with his passing.
Noel, a screen on Rondo. Smith dishes to Matthews. That's his second shot and his second basket. He's 2 for 2.
Yeah, another nice bucket down low. They've really been able to work the ball into the post effectively here so far.
Now here's Rondo. He picked up 15 points in their last win against Brooklyn.
And guys, the other thing that he did well was just facilitate the offense, pass the ball around beautifully in that one. Seriously put on a passing clinic.
Here's Smith after Rajon Rondo's bucket. Nowitzki a screen. Shoots over Cousins. Nowitzki's shot is no good. The Pelicans have gone 4 of 7 from the field, shooting over 50%. Out of bounds, it'll be Mavericks ball. And looking back at last season, here's a look at the 3-point and 2-point shot attempt averages for the Pelicans.
And no doubt they relied upon that 3-point shot to provide a big chunk of their scoring. That's been a trend in the modern NBA, and they took that philosophy and ran with it.
Here's Smith. A 14-point game for him in the win against Indiana. Outside Matthews. Looks for Nowitzki, gets it to him. The 3 from Barnes. That one's not going to go. Now New Orleans will take it the other way. They're coming off that win against the Nets.
And I know the defense wasn't great, but yet and still their ability to stay composed was impressive.
Well, it led to a big scoring effort, taking advantage of every weakness. So any possession the defense wasn't aggressive on, they were on the offensive end.
Rondo can't get it to go. For Dallas, they've gone 3 of 5 shooting the ball so far. And Matthews gets it to go in on the assist by Smith. 7 points for Wesley Matthews. The Pelicans trail. Pass to Liggins and stolen by Nowitzki. And Matthews kicks to Smith. Dishes it to Noel. Rondo against Smith. A beautiful reverse layup.
How about the quick release there by Smith? He does not lack confidence when he's in attack mode.
Now Rondo. He's a good contributor to his team, averaging about 10.5 points a game. Davis up top. Back to Rondo. Shot clock at 5. Fires from deep. Mavericks with the rebound. They defeated Indiana in their last game.
And we all know in a hostile environment, always tough, but they were the better team on that night.
And a very good all-around effort here, and that's what you need to win on the road.
And how about breaking out the Statue of Liberty on that dunk?
A nice way to pad that lead a little more. You're right. He dishes it to Holiday. Goes up the baseline. 2 points. That one goes.
Well, the defense was all over Holiday there, but shooting window was open.
Mavericks leading by 3. Noel sets a screen for Smith. It's stolen by Davis. And now here's Rondo, the fast break opportunity. And the rejection by Smith. Here's Liggins. His three-pointers off the mark.
And that's a rare sight. Usually shooters make the defense pay when they're that lackadaisical.
Smith against Rondo. Oh, and the dunk by Smith.
Yeah, you gotta love seeing the young fella dunk that one home. Smith likes to show off that incredible vertical.
And the highlight reel replay brought to you by Under Armour. Another Unleash Chaos moment. Excellent work by the talented people in our production truck as well. Drills the three-pointer. Liggins has got 5 now.
You really have to challenge him when he lines up from deep, or he's going to bury you.
Smith kicks to Barnes. Back to Smith. Fouled in the act of shooting. A three-point play chance coming up.
That makes it 10 of their last 12 coming from inside the paint. And Dennis Smith Jr., the 9th overall pick in this year's draft, but voted by his fellow rookies as the favorite to win Rookie of the Year. The Mavericks giving him every opportunity as their point guard of the future.
Catching up on the changes for New Orleans. Mirotic is checked in for DeAndre Liggins, and Ian Clark subbed in for Rajon Rondo. And that one misses.
And Dennis Smith, guys, get this, measured a 48-inch vertical, which would tie him for the best in NBA history. He's a perfect fit for the Mavericks, who were in desperate need of some star power and athleticism.
Now here is Holiday. Really played well against Brooklyn in his last outing.
He just can't find the bottom of the net right now. He's looking frustrated. This quarter has been a bit of a nightmare for him. Tremendous effort. He will not be denied on the offensive glass.
Here's Smith. He has 6. Barnes passes to Mejri. Shoots over Mirotic. Here's Barnes. And the rejection by Cousins.
How about Cousins with some gritty defense there, showing off his intimidating length on that rejection.
Davis dishes to Mirotic. Here's Clark. And Cousins kicks to Mirotic. Can't tie it up as that one misses.
And already they've staked out a noticeable advantage in terms of aggression and controlling the backboard. Now flying high and throwing it down with the one-hander.
One of his favorite moves right there, guys. So it's the Pelicans now. The Mavericks making the shot.
And DeMarcus Cousins enjoys these and-one opportunities. Feels like he can overpower just about anything that the defense is going to throw at him.
One thing that DeMarcus Cousins doesn't get enough credit for, Brent, as a big man, is his ability to pass.
Well, for his career, Kevin, averaging 3 assists per game, but has had a couple of seasons where he's almost pushed that up to 5 per game. So coaches look at that ability and try to put him in those sort of situations where they can take advantage of it.
Ejuan Moore is checked in for New Orleans. Jordan Crawford comes in for Drew Holiday. That one misses for Cousins. Ray, you played all 4 years in college after redshirting your freshman season. What kind of advantage, as you look back on that, do you think it gave you, if any, in preparing for the pressures and the style of the NBA?
I don't know so much, Kevin, if it gave me an advantage with regards to the pressures of the league, but certainly with regards to the physicality of the league, it's something that I desperately needed. Just a late developer, a late bloomer. I think I was about 175 pounds when I went off to college. Not a preferential playing weight for the NBA. So I needed that year just in terms of the maturity of what I needed physically.
The free throw drops for Powell. For the Mavericks, 16 consecutive years of 500 basketball or better. Coming to an end last season, unfortunately for them.
Yeah, it was the beginning of a rebuild. The first time in a long time for the Mavs, and they waived some of their veterans to free up space and court time to further develop those young players. And with how competitive this organization is, you know they'll do everything they can to get back in contention to try to send Dirk out on a high note.
Here's Clark. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. The teardrop falls in.
A terrific use of the floater, unguardable really, because you can't do anything defensively to stop it.
Correa, the pass to Mejri. And the rejection by Ajinça. Here's Clark. A look at his stats. He averages a bit over 8 points a game. Mirotic has a wide open look. Kept alive. Ajinça.
And checking out the numbers for McDermott, how his last 10 games have gone. He's averaging about 7 points a game, 2 assists, and 2 rebounds. And it's been a bit of a struggle for him. I mean, he can get down on himself at times. He's just got to keep working, and I think things will turn around.
This is where your character can be tested, his will to fight through this kind of adversity. But I think he's got a good chance.
Ties it up, and this next one could give them the lead. He doesn't get the second one.
And the Mavericks looking to go young now around Nowitzki. Unsurprisingly, they've already found some intriguing young prospects.
Back to Mirotic. And he misses the go-ahead basket. Crawford against Curry. Feeds it to Barea. And he didn't get quite enough under that one. And for the Mavericks, you look at their young guys, a lot of athleticism, and Greg, an upside already on the roster.
And Mavs fans have to be pleased with what they've done so far. I mean, especially with the selection of Dennis Smith in the draft, who can be a special player at that point guard position. They're making smart moves to kind of revamp this roster. And you got to give him credit there. Great effort to contest that shot.
Well, I love the fact that they put the security system on their house, protecting the paint there.
They've been sensational on the backboard to start this game.
He gets it in there.
And that mid-range spot is so sweet for him.
New Orleans in the lead. Here's Clark. There's the screen. And here is Mirotic. That misses, and he's 0 for 4.
Yeah, this is a terrible start for him, and it has to be weighing on him.
And there's McDermott. That's good on the assist by Barea. McDermott's got his first points of the night.
And another momentum shift. These teams going back and forth all night.
Yeah, which team's going to find some consistency first? Neither one can pull away.
Mirotic dishes to Moore. Ajinça with it. He's against Mejri. 5 to shoot. Clark for 3. Mejri with the rebound. Mejri's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Here's McDermott right through the D for the layup. McDermott's got his second bucket.
McDermott crafty when it comes to scoring inside, uses that quick trigger release close to the basket.
And Moore kicks to Ajinça. Mejri with the rebound. Dallas leading by 3. Their offense has been great here.
Yeah, the ball movement has been terrific, and they've kept the defense off balance.
Powell, that's good.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
Mirotic the screen. Here's Clark. And again, no good by New Orleans.
Yeah, they got that one, but early on, it's really been a struggle for them to secure that defensive backboard.
Pelicans trail by 5. Passes to Mirotic. He kicks it to Crawford. He feeds it to Ajinça. Shot to stop the run. Got a piece of it. We've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Curry passes to Barea. Dallas moving it around. 17-foot shot on the way to the wing right side. Here's McDermott, knocked away. Here's Clark, shoots over Barea, off the mark from 16 feet out.
Not a lot of defense there. You can't afford to let guys shoot freely from the mid-range. You're not going to miss those all that often.
And we reached the end of the first quarter. The Mavericks on top as they dominate the last minutes of the quarter on an 8-0 run. It's the NBA on 2K Sports from New Orleans. And Dirk Nowitzki steadily climbing the all-time scoring rankings. He talked about the remarkable journey of his long and illustrious career.
When I first got here, my first year was so tough that I didn't really know that I can make it in this league. To be named with all these names is an unbelievable honor, and it's been a crazy ride.
Dirk has proven himself through the test of time. As tough as it may have been back in his rookie year, he overcame those obstacles to become this elite NBA player destined for the Hall of Fame.
And people do talk about players being a Dirk Nowitzki type. You're right about that. And that's a type any team would like to have. One of the greatest power forwards in the NBA's history.
And the first quarter is in the books. Second about ready to get underway. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Mavericks?
Through that first quarter, to me, it's all about their D.
There's a lot of ways to build a lead. This one's built on stops.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade as the second quarter gets going. On the floor for Dallas, McDermott is out there with Powell. Then it's Curry. Then there's J.J. Barea, and it's Mejri in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Curry kicks to Mejri. Pass to Powell. The dish now to McDermott. Powell with the screen. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Well, you knew that Doug McDermott was going to be a classic shooter when he came into the league with all those points he racked up at Creighton University. A great shooting motion, a high, quick release. And I'm just impressed with the range that he's able to fire from. Sometimes 4 or 5 feet from behind the line. No problem from Dougie McBuckets.
And he makes the first. And Brent with McDermott, he does have great range. It's something that defenders have to respect and is opening up more for him.
And the idea for McDermott is you cannot be a one-trick pony in this league, Kevin. So getting more comfortable at times, maybe playing with the back to the basket, moving off of screens, maybe cutting around defenders. He's going to have to show some more versatility in his offensive game to stick around.
So he picks up just 1 from the line that time. Brent, you have 2 championship rings. Some guys would kill for 1. Talk about a season where you thought you would capture a title, but for some reason it just wasn't meant to be.
It's interesting, after the 2005 championship in San Antonio, coming back in 2006, I thought we were destined to get the job done that very next year. And it's funny how slight the difference is between a championship season and just a contending season, Kevin. An injury, a bounce, a foul, a free throw. It makes you appreciate the fragility of what a championship season is all about.
Well said. And good that time. And the Mavericks lead by 8.
Really, the defense is helpless to stop a layup right there. Just too much of an advantage in terms of the mismatch.
Rondo kicks to Liggins. Back to Rondo. And stolen by Noel. Outside Matthews. Baseline jumper. That one off the back iron and out.
Perfect defense. Contesting without fouling. Exactly what you want to do, especially deep into the paint.
Mavericks leading by 8. Barea dishes to Noel. Kicks it to McDermott. A chance to extend the lead to double digits, but it's no good. Here's Crawford. Offensive rebound. And he makes the bucket. Drew contact and gets the whistle too.
And they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing the ball into the paint.
First trip to the free throw line for him tonight. Davis is checked in for Mirotic. Dallas also making some changes. Barnes comes in for Doug McDermott. And Smith subbed in for J.J. Barea.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
Alvin Gentry has to be proud that the responsibilities of playing defense for their squad last year was something that they accepted. They went from a bottom 3 team to a top 10 team defensively just last season.
Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sideline.
Well, guys, the Pelicans do have their challenges, but Anthony Davis remains committed to winning in New Orleans. He said, "I love it here. I don't plan on leaving. I guess I fit into that old school category where I want to try to win where I start my career. That's always been a goal of mine. My goal is to bring a championship here."
2 shots, gentlemen.
And David, loyalty does go a long way. Davis is a perfect guy to build your team around. He wants to win. And with more talent, you think the Pelicans have a chance, Brent, to step their offense up this season?
Oh, I absolutely do. I think the amazing part about last year is that the Pelicans ended up sliding their way up into the top 10 defensively. That's an area where the likes of a team like the Denver Nuggets needs to make their improvement. Maybe between those two teams, they're battling to find their way into the postseason.
That's good from Barnes. Some changes for New Orleans. DeMarcus Cousins comes in for Alexis Ajinça, and it's Drew Holiday in for Jordan Crawford. Barnes hits them both.
And Harrison Barnes, just a tremendous athlete at that small forward position. I think his strength enables him to guard up and hold his own against power forwards, and coaches love that versatility.
Now here is Davis. He's coming off a 16-point game against Brooklyn.
Felt like he also was prepared for whatever the opposition was coming at him with. He was either contesting shots or swatting them away. Just a dominant defensive performance all the way around.
Dallas leading by 5. Over in the corner, Barnes. Dallas again missing. And Greg, you look at the versatility of Barnes. He can defend, I think, 3 positions.
And that's what the league is all about now. Switching on picks, much more popular, and with an all-around solid defender like Barnes, it doesn't uncover mismatches.
Just 4 to shoot, and it's Davis missing. Dallas has gone 0 of 2 from deep here in the second. Here's Smith, sinks the 15-footer. Smith's got 8 points.
How about that quick trigger in terms of the release of that shot there by Smith, always looking to get it going from the mid-range.
Now here's Davis. His scoring numbers are pretty strong. He's up there at 21 points a game on average. It's good. Here's Smith. There's a screen by Noel. Barnes outside. And here's Matthews from the arc. No good on that one. So the Pelicans will take it the other way. Next step for them, the Knicks coming out here to play. That game will conclude a 3-game homestand. Holiday, the pass to Liggins. Some nice passing here by New Orleans. Davis with it. Guarded now by Barnes. Now the feed to Cousins. Over Noel. Cousins, no good.
Been a tough game for the guys around him, mainly because his shot's been hit and miss.
And Noel kicks to Matthews. The pass to Barnes. Pass to Smith. 6 on the shot clock. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Smith's got 4 points in the quarter.
And those close-range shots are what you want him taking. They always have a great chance of falling.
Davis sets a screen. And Holiday kicks to Rondo. Inside. Nowitzki with the steal. Fast break, Dallas. Bobbed up there for Barnes. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Matthews.
And how about the numbers here for Drew Holiday? How his last 10 games have gone. He's averaging 15 points a game, 6 assists, and 3 rebounds. They're loving how he's running the show here. His sensational passing really breathing life into their offense.
Something in the coach's playbook here where the schemes fire on all cylinders. When he is in the game, a great conduit for them offensively. He knows where everyone is at all times.
Now here's Rondo, Cousins, and he's fouled on the shot. One free throw coming up.
Well, this is when the efficiency of DeMarcus Cousins goes through the roof. He gets that deep on the inside, and the defense cannot compete with it.
And so much of what Cousins does on the court is unstoppable. But at times, Brent, his leadership is something that can get in the way.
Well, I wouldn't technically call that leadership, Kevin. There are times where DeMarcus Cousins detracts from what it is the ultimate goal of a team.
One
and
shot,
the early
gentlemen.
part of his career created a bit of negativity around the atmosphere of what was going on. I think over the past couple years he's been much better. He's got a new situation now and maybe a new lease on life.
And, you know, Brent, we know top-level coaching is an all-in affair. Strategy, motivation, working the officials. But who are some of the most complete coaches in the league right now?
Well, at the top of the list is Greg Popovich and what he does. There's no doubt that the way that he has his team prepared on a nightly basis, carrying out the game plan, the way he works the sidelines, as you mentioned, Kevin, Greg Popovich is the cream of the crop when it comes to NBA coaches.
I love the ball movement there. He put that on a silver platter, just served him up.
Holiday dishes to Davis. Back to Holiday. Screen by Cousins. And Holiday kicks to Davis. It's tipped. Nowitzki up top. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against the Pacers in Indianapolis.
And equally impressive on the backboards. I thought his rebounding was huge.
Here's Holiday after Dirk Nowitzki's bucket. And Holiday kicks to Davis. Screen by Cousins. Rondo against Smith. 6 to shoot. Davis with a screen on Smith. Here's Cousins. Another shot. And it's Noel with the rebound. Noel's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Smith the pass to Matthews. Tried to bank it in, but he misses.
Got to make those shots. Not sure how he missed it. Defense was just okay.
Shot off the pick. And the rebound goes to Nowitzki.
And you know what? You can't get a better screen. Frees him up beautifully, but he just fails to capitalize.
Oh, man, he'd love to have that one back. He just does everything right, but doesn't get the finish.
Now here's Rondo. Dirk Nowitzki unable to get his shot to go. Davis sets a screen. Here's Liggins. It's rebounded by Dallas.
It looked like he wanted no part of that. Superb defense there, really making it tough on him.
Matthews dishes to Nowitzki. And here's Barnes for 3. It's rebounded by New Orleans. Davis has got his 5th rebound in this one. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Rondo kicks to Liggins. Davis sets a screen. Here's Liggins, covered by Smith. Here's the floater. Rondo can't get it to go. Mavericks leading by 8. Here's Matthews. A chance there to push it to double digits, but it's off the mark. New Orleans has gone 0-3 from beyond the arc to start the second quarter. The wide open look here for Holiday. And he can't stop this drought. Another miss. Nowitzki outside. Now here's Barnes. He's guarded closely. Here's Matthews. And for the Mavericks, clearly the rebuild, Greg, has begun.
Yeah, but they made good use of their picks. They brought in more youth and signed their building blocks. Franchise isn't used to rebuilding, but they are approaching it, I think, the right way.
free throw, good. Matthews. Some changes for New Orleans. Mirotic is checked in for Davis. Etuan Moore comes in for DeAndre Liggins. And Ian Clark subbed in for Rajon Rondo. And the Mavericks will go for a different look here. Measury, he's checked in for Nerlens Noel. Powell comes in for Dirk Nowitzki. Curry's checked in for Barnes. And Barea subbed in for Smith. Both free throws good from Matthews. And Brent, some pressure on the Pelicans front office and coaching staff to win now.
Well, Alvin Gentry has dealt with a lot of injuries surrounding Anthony Davis in his short tenure with the Pelicans, and it took a little while for the organization to confirm that the upper management and coaching staff would be back for this season. So it feels a bit tenuous. Hopefully they can get themselves together and be one of the teams with that kind of talent that finds their way into the postseason this year.
Jordan Crawford's checked in for Drew Holiday. And Dallas also making a switch. McDermott's checked in. That one falls. And that's now 11 points here for Cousins.
Beautiful execution from him, building off a great first quarter, looking unstoppable here.
McDermott kicks to Powell. Some nice passing here by Dallas. Measury, the pass to Powell. A nice shot by Barea. Barea's got the lead up to 10 now for the Mavs. And the Pelican shooting is definitely lagging at the moment. They're just 30% in the second quarter. Mirotic, the screen. Launches it. Hits the three-point bomb.
What are you going to do defensively? Such separation with the height advantage in that matchup.
Now here's Barea. He's covered closely. Curry outside. Cousins pulls it in. Cousins has got 6 rebounds in the game. And there's the call on Measure. That'll be his second foul of the game. New Orleans making a switch here. Agins is checked in. Pelicans trail by 7. It's Crawford on the wing, guarded by Curry. That's tipped. Here we go, one-on-one. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. It's going to go on Nikola Mirotic. For Dallas, they have shot 70% from the free throw line tonight, 7 for 10.
And they've shot the ball well this season in terms of their attempts, 81%.
No good on that one. No luck that time either.
And the Pelicans might have the most formidable front court tandem in the NBA. DeMarcus Cousins and Anthony Davis. Some calling them fire and ice. Gee, I wonder who fire is.
The putback controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
Yeah, his shooting has been on target here in the second frame after not being able to get anything going in the first.
Measuring good, and Curry gets the assist. Curry's got 3 assists now in this one. And the Pelicans, Brent, had flirted with small ball. How's the fit between Cousins and Davis?
Well, it does help out that both of these guys are so talented and capable of shooting the basketball as big men. But I think AD plays better off the ball and not really force feeding him. DeMarcus is just the opposite. He's got to have the ball in his hands to make plays. So we'll see how they end up working this thing out. They could still use some perimeter shooting because of the attention that these two big guys are going to draw on a nightly basis. He's just so aggressive on that move. You have to come over fast and hard to stop him.
Now here's Moore. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Crawford outside. Over Curry. And the shot no good, a bit short. And we finished one half of basketball. Mavericks ahead. They lead by 9. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Kevin, thanks. Alongside Coach Alvin Gentry. Alvin, what sorts of adjustments are you going to make in the second half?
Well, we just got to get ourselves organized. We got to get back. We got to take better shots. You know, the problem that we have is we're taking bad shots and they're running out on them. We just got to take good shots and we got to get back and get our defense set.
Best defense is offensive efficiency. Thanks, Coach. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks for the great interview, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of basketball following halftime.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson. This big mountain of a man is Shaquille O'Neal, and this hill of a man is Kenny the Jet Smith. The first quarter for the Mavericks was fairly even. Their largest deficit of the period was just 4 points. They were right there within shouting distance the entire time. Well, for the Mavericks, Shaq, what's your take on Dallas?
Well, Kenny should appreciate this. I love the ball movement. They were in sync as a unit, and their assist numbers were impressive. Anytime you get 5 players working together like that instead of one guy doing it alone, it's always going to be a boost. That's the primary reason they're in control of the game.
And Kenny, what'd you see from New Orleans?
They're not getting to the line or putting enough pressure on the defense. They have to be much more aggressive pushing the basketball, going hard to the rack. Because if you want the refs to make a call, put them in a position to make a judgment call. If you're not creating opportunities for contact, you have no chance of picking up points at the line.
And that wraps up halftime as the game is set to get back underway. Let's send it to Kevin Harlan and crew, standing by courtside.
Now the second half about to start up and begin any moment. You look at DeMarcus Cousins in this game, he has been everywhere.
Well, we saw in the first half, he has a nice mixture of moves down low, and they've been going to him.
Well, he's a volume scorer in the post, and right now the volume's at 11. So if you're not going to run doubles at him, we'll see if he can get more of that done in the second half.
All right, the second half beginning in just a moment. Mavericks leading by 9. The star big men pair of Davis and Cousins are up front. Holiday out there with Rajon Rondo, and it's Liggins in at the 3. That's Alvin Gentry's 5 as we get into the second half. Smith dishes to Noel. Back to Smith. Let's go. Pelicans with the rebound. Cousins has got rebound number 7 for him tonight. Holiday against Matthews. Rondo kicks to Davis. A three-pointer off the mark. The Mavericks shooting 48% from the field. Not bad at all. Down low. And it's Noel missing.
And typically he has the touch to finish when he's in tight, but not sure on that possession. I mean, that's a tough break for the D. I mean, he took the hit and drew the whistle.
Rondo with it. Dishes to Liggins. It's stolen by Smith. Oh, and here comes Smith. All alone. Feeds to Barnes. Second shot opportunity. And it's finished off inside by Smith. Smith's got the first points to start out the third quarter for the Mavs. Pelicans trail by 11. Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Kevin, Rick Carlisle is one of the most respected head coaches in the league, especially for his X's and O's. But Bucks coach Jason Kidd, who played for Carlisle, praised his disposition. He's never up and never down, Kidd said. There's no panic in it. He gives you that sense of security to go out there and make a play. Kevin?
Gotta love Coach Carlisle, D.A. An even-keel guy who places a lot of trust in his players.
And each bucket at this point feels like a backbreaker.
Well, to win at this level consistently, you cannot be faint of heart, and he's going in for the kill.
Now here's Davis. 8 points for him. Three-pointer. The offensive rebound. Cousins. An amazing finish with a hand right in his face. Cousins has got 13.
I just like to see Cousins just stay confident. Even when the defense gets tight, Cousins so confident in his ability to score.
In the corner, Smith with it. Nowitzki, that's for 2. Yes, and it's Smith with the assist that time. Smith's got his 3rd assist on the night.
And when you look at Dennis Smith Jr., you aren't blown away by the physicality at first, but he's incredibly gifted for a player his size. Great speed and quickness to blow by defenders.
And with Dennis Smith, it isn't just burst of speed, it's his play in the open floor and Greg running end to end, which is phenomenal.
Yeah, he also just jumps and finishes at the rim like a shooting guard. He's only probably 6'2", 6'3", but he gets up in the air like a wing player. He's a lot like Derrick Rose was when he burst on the scene.
The free throw drops for Liggins. Mavericks leading by 8. Noel, a screen on Rondo. Here's Barnes over Holiday, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line.
No question, he got bumped on that shot.
The Mavericks have made a little more than half their free throws today, 7 of 12.
Shooting 2.
The first one falls. Barnes hits them both.
Alvin Gentry plucked away from the Warriors staff that won a title in 2015, and he was an assistant coach there. He sees the opportunity to take over his own team once again after having coached in Phoenix and headed to New Orleans. Now has a ton of talent on the inside. Can he get some guard help this year to make a push to the playoffs?
Now a timeout called by New Orleans. And Gentry has some great talent certainly to work with up front for the Pelicans. But Brent, they haven't made the playoffs. How much patience will this franchise have?
Well, the first couple years, Kevin, you really have to look at the injuries that absolutely devastated this roster. So how do you look at Alvin Gentry and blame him for not having all the parts working because they simply didn't work? So the rumors around the front office and about second guessing. Let's give Alvin Gentry, especially after this massive trade, to bring in these two centers some time to put this thing together.
Defensively, this is what you know. He's coming off a hot game and looking to keep it rolling.
And you could try to key in on him, but that's tough. They run plays that routinely give him makeable looks.
The Pelicans have made 4 free throws from the line and missed 2. And that one falls for DeMarcus Cousins.
You like the passion and energy that Cousins plays with. As long as it's in control, he goes hard at it every game.
Noel, a screen on Rondo. Smith kicks to Noel. And the rejection by Cousins. Here's Liggins from outside off the mark.
And I thought that was going to drop. It looked good from here.
And the rejection by Cousins. Rondo with the ball. Matthews covering. Rondo passes to Holiday. And again, no good by New Orleans. Mavericks leading by 7. Barnes kicks to Matthews. The shot, no good. Nice D from Cousins. New Orleans gotten off to a very slow start from three-point range in the second half. They're 0 for 4. Rondo, no good.
Just a little lackluster so far with his effort. He's been very limited due to his poor shooting.
And Matthews kicks to Smith. Again, the miss by the Mavericks. For New Orleans, they've gone 4 of 9 from the floor so far in the third. It's hauled in by Nowitzki. Nowitzki's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Matthews dishes to Nowitzki. Over Davis. Nowitzki, no good.
The defensive reaction time, it was just immediate on that one.
You know, sometimes the most important part of that is the angle that the defender chooses. That time, he chose wisely.
Dallas shooting an ugly 27% since halftime. Rondo against Smith. To the paint. And there's Dirk Nowitzki on the assist by Smith. Smith's got 4 assists in the game.
I love the pace he's playing with, letting his offense come to him naturally and then building upon this lead for his team.
Now here is Holiday. He's been playing a big part of their offensive scheme, averaging around 15.5 points a game. And count it, he'll head to the line with a chance to make it 3. And that sends Anthony Davis to the free throw line. Dirk Nowitzki picks up that.
Anthony Davis, the first overall pick of the 2012 NBA draft. This guy just gives you superstar production from the outset of his career. Just started dominating the league. So you think about when he's not getting double and triple team as the roster builds around him, what kind of MVP numbers potentially he'll be putting up for years to come.
And for Davis, he might have won an MVP trophy already if he had more talent around him.
Yeah, that's just something, Kevin, he flat out cannot control. You think about his first 5 seasons so far in New Orleans. A lot of change, a lot of turmoil, a lot of different guys pulling on that jersey. It'll be fascinating to see if at some point they can get solid around Anthony Davis, who we know is an MVP caliber player.
Yeah, that's got them over the limit with a lot of time still left. They're going to have to tone it down, or they may end up giving up a lot of free throws here.
And the Mavericks with some changes. Dwight Powell's checked in for Nowitzki. And it's Seth Curry in for Harrison Barnes. Good on the second free throw.
And one of the problems in the first half, that shoddy work at the free throw line. They needed to fix that, and they've been much improved since the break.
Here's a screen by Noel. Matthews. Here's Powell. And a good offensive board. And he gets the bucket. Powell's got 5.
And you gotta love the big bucket in the paint in this sort of a grind-it-out game.
Screen by Cousins. Here's Davis. But they get it back.
Yeah, just nice hustle there. That work gets them the extra possession.
Here's Smith. Lays it up and in on the nice reverse. Now it's a 7-point Dallas lead.
And when Smith gets it going, boy, does he become difficult to slow down. His quickness allows him to get anywhere he wants on the floor.
Now here's Rondo. He dishes it to Liggins. Screen by Cousins. An easy layup after coming off the pick. He's got 11.
He has a little bit of trickeration with that one. Gets that one to go against the limb.
Wait, did you just say trickeration, GA? I think it's a size disadvantage there that he was willing to attack, but you have to develop that skill set and have counters. Coaching staff high-fiving themselves there, watching that team move the ball around, doing whatever is best for the team.
Now a timeout called by New Orleans. As the teams head into this timeout, a chance for the coaches now to map out some plays for the next few minutes and a chance for the players to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's important if they want to make sure they don't wear down later in the game.
Absolutely. Over the course of a game, you have to stay hydrated.
A platoon swap here for New Orleans. And then for Dallas. Measury, he's checked in for Noel. McDermott comes in for Wesley Matthews. And Barea subbed in for Smith. Here's Clark. Moore right side. And again, New Orleans has no luck. Dallas leading by 7. Here's Curry with the 3. Again, Curry missing. For New Orleans, they've gone 7 of 15 from the field here in the third quarter. And Moore kicks to Clark. Now here is Mirotic. He's covered closely. Here's Ajinça. Goes up and lays it nice and easy. Ajinça's got 7 points in the game.
Really crisp, intelligent passing to make that basket possible.
Powell with the screen. Barea the pass to Powell. And the dunk by Powell.
And he can do a lot more damage to the rim than that when he wants to.
Oh, you're right. And with the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one. And Moore kicks to Crawford. Back to Moore. New Orleans moving it around. Out of bounds. Dallas will take possession.
And how about the numbers here for Mirotic? He's right around 13 points a night, 7 rebounds, and 2 assists. And he's really been pulling his weight. He's had a hand in some big plays here recently.
I think you look across the board right now, and he's just doing a much better job. The numbers bear that out.
Now here's Barea. Looking at his point production, he averages almost 8 points a game. Here's Curry. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
No question, he got bumped on that shot.
For Dallas, they have made 9 free throws in the game, 14 attempts.
Two shots.
Free throw good by Curry. And both free throws good for Curry.
We're still waiting for that first miss from the line this half.
Passes it to Mirotic. Cranes the three-pointer. Mirotic has got 6.
And really the defense didn't do a lot to fight around that screen on that possession.
Curry passes to Mejri. Trying his luck deep. Barea, no good. Pelicans trail by 6. Here's Crawford. Got a hand on it. Tries again. He lays it in. He's got 8. Here is Barea. Powell with the screen. Barea dishes to Powell. It's good. Great play set up by Barea. Barea's got 3 assists tonight.
That's a gorgeous assist. Outstanding at finding his guys in the spots where they want the basketball.
Here's Clark. He kicks to Ajinça. Count the basket.
Always tough to work the closer you get to the basket. Nice job of finding an angle on the pass there.
Mavericks leading by 4. Now Barea. Curry on the wing. Guarded by Crawford. And stolen by Mirotic. Buries it down low.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
And here's Barea. Powell with the screen. Rebound by Ajinça.
He's still looking for his shot. Somehow they're winning. They'd like to get him going.
Clark kicks to Ajinça. Mirotic inside. Powell's there. It's deflected. And Curry, here we go. And there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for 2. And there's the foul against New Orleans. These are his 3rd and 4th free throw attempts of the game.
This season, he has been absolutely locked in at the free throw line. How about 90%?
Two shots.
Free throw good. Curry. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time.
Kevin, these are easy points. Remember, free throws.
Pass to Clark. 3-pointer. And another 3 for New Orleans.
A lot of people feel like Moore has natural point guard ability, so I like to see him find the open man.
We've got 1:18 left in the third quarter of the game. Correa, the pass to Pop. The dunk and the foul, a powerhouse move, and he's got a chance for one more at the line. It's going to go on Nikola Mirotic. And Dwight Powell played all 4 seasons at Stanford for the Cardinal. Still filling out his frame.
He is, and you know, the knock on Powell was that he wasn't tough enough to battle inside at this level. But guy is a worker, basically sleeping in the gym, and with his length and athleticism, he's starting to figure it out.
Pelicans trail by 4. Clark kicks to Crawford. 1:04 left here in the third quarter. Mirotic, a screen on Barea. Shot clock at 6. Clark dishes to Mirotic. Off target with his 3.
That's where I like the shot selection. The defense cannot afford to give up wide open shots. They dodged a bullet there.
Good. Powell's got 14 points for the game.
Are we sure that's the same player, guys? He looks completely different. What confidence he's playing with, and look how engaged he is on both ends.
Now here's Moore. Here's Clark. To the inside. Mirotic's shot is off.
The defense was solid there, smothering him close inside, and that's how you want to guard him.
Correa, the pass to Pop, and the dunk by Powell.
And we always talk about making your teammate better. That assist was right on target.
Here's the screen. Mirotic, the screen. From deep three-point range, misses there. And so it's the Dallas Mavericks in the driver's seat, up 8 points at the end of the quarter. Their defense has been active and effective. We'll get right back to the action when we return. And let's listen to head coach Rick Carlisle review the game plan with his guys.
Hey, keep working on defense. Do an unbelievable job. Hey, down here, one shot and then out. Everybody get to the boards. It's all about this end. All about this end. Let's dig back in. Let's go.
Some encouraging words from Rick Carlisle. Wants to keep that up and see more defensive effort.
Yeah, getting stops, rebounding the basketball. That's the mission right now.
Hello and thanks for joining us, folks. The fourth quarter of play getting started. On the floor right now for the Mavericks. On the wings, Curry and Barnes. Nowitzki is out there with Measury, and it's Barea in at the point guard position. Now here's Barea on the wing, Barnes. The pass to Measury. Some nice passing here by Dallas. Barea, and he takes it in for the layup off a very nice feed. And the Mavericks lead by 8.
All keyed right there from the lead pass. Right on the money.
And for the Pelicans, they're shooting 39% from the floor. Not their best. They set the pick. Here's Moore. That shot off. Good D by Barnes. And the dunk by Barnes.
Oh, taking it to the rack with power.
And hammering down the two-hand slam. And here's New Orleans now. Clark kicks to Crawford. Moore left side. Good D by Barnes.
I'm a fan of anybody who defends that way. I mean, they weren't about to open the door and just allow him to cruise in for a layup.
2 shots.
The free throw drops for Curry. And the Mavericks with some changes. Noel comes in for Measure. And Smith subbed in for J.J. Barea. That one is no good. Pelicans trail by 11. Shot from free throw range, and he hits the jump shot.
Enjoyed that unselfish play from Holiday for that swing pass to the open teammate.
Noel, a screen on Rondo. Smith kicks to Curry. He feeds it to Barnes. And that's collected by Drew Holiday. For New Orleans, they've gone 2 of 4 from the field since we started the final quarter of play. Liggins, no good.
Well, the D looks like they're laying off just a little bit. He made 1 3 in the first half, but they're still daring him to shoot, and he can't make them pay for it.
Now, here is Smith. An easy 2 points on the layup. Smith's got the lead up to 11 now for the Mavs.
And Smith doesn't back down from a challenge. Even when he gets bodied, he can stay with the play and convert.
Holiday goes in, shoots over Curry, and the rejection by Noel. Barnes dishes to Curry. Off target with his 3.
And thus far, they've managed to overcome an off game from him offensively.
Here's Liggins, covered by Barnes. And again, New Orleans has no luck. Mavericks leading by 11. Inside, there's Noel, and slam dunk by Noel.
Ooh, he put a little extra on that one.
He does. He doesn't usually finish soft either. Obviously, he can when necessary, but not that time. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Now a timeout called by New Orleans.
And I'll tell you what, age ain't nothing but a number when you talk about the impact of Dirk Nowitzki. I mean, with his size and shooting touch, he creates so many openings for himself and his teammates offensively.
And Nowitzki's turnaround, an unblockable shot when he's hitting. Greg, he's unguardable.
And even though he's lost a little lift in the legs, he's worked hard to kind of quicken his release, and just another tweak for a guy who's made a career of adding layers to his Hall of Fame game.
Matthews, he's checked in for Dallas. Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline. Look at that.
He's going to put that one in his scrapbook. Insane dunk.
And now they're starting to rub it in, build up a lead, and here we go, baby. It is showtime. Holiday, the pass to Davis. Over to the left wing. Shot is good, and the Mavericks lead is cut down now to just 12 points with the basket from Liggins.
I mean, letting that guy shoot freely from out there, he's going to destroy you from the perimeter if you do that.
Now, here is Smith over Holiday, and the shot falls short this time. Here's Liggins, covered by Barnes. The kick out to Holiday. The 3. Mavericks with the rebound. Nowitzki's got 6 rebounds in the game. Here's Noel, and Davis sends it back.
Love that D from Davis, rises up and swats that shot away.
Tries from 16. Shot is good, and the Mavericks lead is cut down now to just 10 points with that basket from Rajon Rondo. There's a screen by Noel. Noel sets a screen for Barnes. A second chance effort, and Noel kicks to Barnes. Nailed from three-point land. Barnes has got 7 now in this quarter.
And I like how he draws the attention on the inside, and then the nice little kick out in rhythm for the jumper.
Cousins dishes to Rondo. Davis with a screen on Smith. Shot off the screen. Rondo with another miss. Dallas leading by 13. And here's Matthews from the arc. Cousins pulls it in. Cousins has got 14 rebounds for him tonight. Wow. It's rebounded by Dallas. They'll be off to Oklahoma City for a meeting with the Thunder after this one. That'll be the third game of this 3-game road trip. Nowitzki. No good that time. Great D that time from Davis. Rondo kicks to Liggins. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
No question he got bumped on that shot.
The free throw drops for Liggins.
I felt like he was a little hesitant in the first half, but really he's amping himself up here and battering around to get himself to the free throw line.
So after making the first, he goes 1 for 2. So, Brent, less than 0.1% of NBA fans bother to vote for the All-Star game. Do you think the league should devise a different way to choose the players for that big mid-season event?
I'd really like, again, this is an area, Kevin, that the league has done a great job of being a bit progressive with the way they've changed the All-Star balloting. 50% of the vote now going to the fans, 25% to the players, and 25% to the media. It's a way to make sure that guys who are having tremendous seasons are recognized both by their peers and their media rather than the fans getting ahead of some marketing scheme. So this has been addressed.
Perfect. On defense, New Orleans. Harrison Barnes getting it to go from deep. Matthews passes to Barnes. Here's Nowitzki. That doesn't go either for Nowitzki.
And whether he's a great off-balance shooter or not, the lean is probably not the best option on that shot.
Rondo kicks to Liggins. And the rejection by Noel. And here comes Smith leading the fast break. He lobs up the alley-oop pass, and Noel throws it down.
Yeah, and no doubt Smith has the vision. When one of his guys has a clean look, he's quick to get the ball to them.
Pelicans trail by 17. And Holiday kicks to Davis. Holiday dishes to Davis. And stolen by Nowitzki. Smith drives in. Rondo with some nice D.
And forcing the miss there, he just knows how to pressure you defensively.
You hear a lot about rim protection. This is a good example of how valuable it can be.
Mavericks leading by 17. Noel passes to Smith. Nowitzki outside. There's the dish to Barnes. The layup missed. New Orleans has gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the fourth quarter. Offensive rebound. Rondo's shot is good. Rondo's got 4 points now in the quarter.
I tell you what, Rondo will get physical down low in that post. He is not going to back down from anybody.
And Matthews kicks to Smith. And Smith with the stuff.
And how's that for some ups coming from that one?
Well, he is a rarity among NBA point guards in his ability to elevate.
Gotta love the fact that going vertical is a major part of what makes him so difficult as a point guard to defend, especially around the rim.
To the inside. Here's Holiday. That shot off the mark. Now Dallas takes it the other way.
Yeah, tough with his shot so far off right now. They're going to have to tap someone else to step up until he finds it. Well, his offense should come with a warning label, caution, flammable. He's connecting on everything. The D looks dumbfounded.
Now here is Davis. Kicks to Cousins. Over Noel. And he gets that one to go off the front iron. 18 points here for Cousins.
Well, this guy is a top-tier scorer for a reason, whether it's the block or expanding out to 3, the mid-range, he's got that too.
Here's Smith. Now here's Barnes. And it's Anthony Davis with the rebound. Davis has got 11 rebounds in the game. Cousins on the follow. Cousins has got 9 points here in the second half.
You can't be frustrated at him tonight. He's doing his job. Like to see his guys step up a little more.
I tell you what, I'd settle for having as many points in this game as he has rebounds.
And he's just working and working and working. Tireless.
Here's Smith. The feed to Barnes. Outside Holiday. Bangs home the trifecta.
As the ball swung to Holiday, he did not think twice, and he let it go once he caught it. Pass, creating rhythm. Defense not anticipating that.
And some guys just have a nose for scoring, and this one couldn't have been any easier.
Well, on the defensive end, this is a joke. The lack of awareness is exactly why this team is so far behind.
One shot.
And the free throw, no good. And Nerlens Noel out of Kentucky, slender and mobile and long. And Greg, he can cover ground in a hurry.
Boy, and you can see it in his rate of steals to go along with the blocks. That quickness is a huge asset in today's game. It's all about versatility, both offensively and defensively.
Now, here is Smith. Matthews sets a screen for Smith, and stolen by Cousins. Fires the three. It's rebounded by Dallas. Barnes has got his 6th rebound on the night. For 3, Smith. And that one's in. He's only missed 3 of 13.
And I just love how Smith is ready to shoot as soon as he gets the ball, measuring the shot as the pass is en route.
Nowitzki against Davis. Back to Holiday. Davis sets a screen. Holiday dishes to Davis. Over Noel. And that's collected by Nowitzki. Mavericks leading by 16.
And so just rolling to the finish line now in what has been a very confident looking performance for Dallas.
They made more foul shots, and that was the difference.
That was a big advantage. The other team was defending with their hands instead of moving their feet, and they handed them a lot of easy points at the line.
And so they'll stretch their victory total to 19 on the season.
And they're able to even the score of this series at a game apiece. Still 2 more to go in the season series.
And a lot of players tonight helped contribute to this performance, but in particular, a real good game it was for Smith.
A big part of their success was his ability to keep the ball moving, finding guys when they would flash open.
2 points, that one goes.
Yeah, that screen created the space for the shot, and Holiday launches the jumper. It finds nothing but the bottom.
Nowitzki with the screen on Rondo. Smith the pass to Barnes. Dishes to Nowitzki. And Davis sends it back. 2 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Holiday gets the bucket.
This is not the team we've been watching for most of the night.
It's a shame because this is the team we expected to see fighting on every possession. I think it's just too late.
Smith with it. So we see the Mavericks taking the win here. They came in here and took care of business like they were the home team.
And Kevin, how about the mental toughness that this group showed? They were never rattled at all by the opposing fans.
And that about wraps it up. So for David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, Brent Barry, and the whole 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for being with us. We'll see you next time.